ethics and problems that could arise for writing about your life and putting it out into the world. And this is a concern whether you're writing, being traditionally published or self-publishing, and, whether it's in a zine form or a blog or anywhere, there's always going to be questions like, what am I allowed to say about myself, about other people who might see it? Could I get in trouble? So one thing is just sort of what's okay to write about and what isn't. As far as I'm concerned, you can write about anything you want. And I urge you to write about anything you want. But then there might be the concern of, what if other people see it and they don't like what I said about them or what I said about myself? Like if, family is reading it, maybe in your writing you're open about being LGBTQ, but you're not out to your family and you're afraid they might see it, or you're afraid that, what if a potential employer reads it? That's a concern with posting things online as well. So there are some ways that you can deal with these things. One thing that you can do, easy solution, put your zines out anonymously. Give yourself a pen name, people you're writing about, other than yourself, change their names, and maybe, if you feel the need to, fudge a few details. This is, totally acceptable writing practice, especially when you're self-publishing it. You don't have to worry so much about the legal aspect of that kind of thing. So yeah, if that's the way you feel comfortable for writing about whatever you want, yeah, pen name, change people's names, maybe change some details if needed or wanted, and just put it out into the world. You can still send it to strangers online because chances are they're not going to care. They're not going to know the people you're talking about anyway. So if they get a hold of it, that's no concern. But then you can feel free to leave it around your town or whatever, however you want to distribute the zine ultimately, and not worry that friends, family, potential employers, current employers, anybody, your school, if you're in school, then you don't have to worry. And, if anybody does say, oh, did you write this? You can just play dumb. Another thing you can do, and that I've done more so, is, I have often changed people's names in my writing, in my zines over the years. And in fact, there's some people who I've given multiple different names to, depending on when I was writing the piece. So in one zine, someone might be called Lucy, and in another zine they're called Maggie, and it's the same person. I don't feel the need to explain that because, well, first of all, Kerouac set that precedent. Like, all his friends had different names in all his books. But second of all, I kind of like that because people reading it don't need to know who's really who, and if it's confusing, as long as the story makes sense in and of itself, doesn't matter if they can connect it to previous stories I've written about that person. Also, it adds like another layer of mystery, and just another layer of protection. If those people that you did write about find your writing and they see different things with different names, even if they know it's them, they can't say too much, to you about it. They can, but how can they get mad about you portraying them in a certain way if no one else reading it would even know it's them? And here's the thing. well, the thing I'll give you a sort of a warning for. You're probably always going to have someone upset with you. I've had lots of people in my life over the years in some way bothered by what I wrote in my zine, whether it was about them or not. You know what? I've had people mad if I didn't write about them. Like people I was dating, and they thought, write about me, why not? It's important to you. But then, when I did write about them, maybe they didn't like what I said about them. Even if I thought it was nice, that's the other thing. Like, you might not be trying to make someone look bad, even, but it might not be something that, they wanted the world at large to know. And, again, these are questions that can come up anytime you're writing based on your life, whether it's in zine form or not. So, someone's always going to be displeased. And yeah, that can be hard. I've written several things about that sort of thing. And I'll link those below as well. That can be hard, but you can, again, put it out anonymously. Do whatever you need to feel comfortable to tell your stories. Another thing I've done is put disclaimers. I change people's names or blend a real story with some fictional details. And I just put a disclaimer in the zine that says, this is, fiction, or, this is all based on my memories, so it might not match up to yours. Any sort of disclaimer like that. Hopefully one of those tactics will work for you, and you're not too scared now. Because now we are going to get into some ideas for what to write about in your perzine.